Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's webinar, How to Buy Equipment in a Virtual World. My name is John Reneska, Business Development Manager at Equipment Trader, and I'm excited to host this on-demand webinar. I've seen a lot of changes happen in our industry over the last few years. The main change being that our world is becoming more and more virtual with the emergence of online shopping. Now, whether you're a solo act with a single piece of equipment or you manage an entire fleet, buying equipment can be a tall task. But with so many digital resources at your fingertips, you can now do nearly all of your research and purchasing online. And that's what I want to dive into today. So let's jump into the 7 important topics around buying equipment in a virtual world. Now, whether you're a first-time buyer or you're researching for a second, third, or even fourth piece of equipment, the tips and tricks I'll talk through today will help you during the research and buying process. Number 1, build your list. Number 2, determine your budget. Number 3, choose your equipment type. Number 4, do your research. Number 5, once you've chosen your equipment, you're ready to connect with a seller. Number 6, get ready to buy and explore and use your virtual buying options once you're ready to purchase. And number 7, finally, I'll walk through how to avoid fraud and scams. This is very important since so much of the buying process is online these days. Okay, so let's get started. First, build your list. Before buying equipment, you'll need to figure out what kind of work you'll be doing and what features would be required to get these jobs done. Here are a few things to consider for your equipment must-have list. What is the main task that you need to complete? Is it digging, earth moving, planting? Is the job inside or outside? How much maneuverability space is available on the job site? What's the terrain of the job site? Does your work require a certain horizontal or vertical reach? Does your work require a certain weight capacity? Ask these questions and make sure they are on your must-have list. Now, once you've figured out the fundamental purpose of your equipment purchase, it's a good idea to think through some additional details, such as, do you need equipment that can accomplish more than one task? Can the equipment be outfitted with various attachments you may need? What equipment are you even certified to operate? And can I use this equipment for other work once the job is completed? You'll also need to find out if there are any federal, state, or local regulations that might require you to acquire a specific type of machinery. For example, in some states, your list will need to meet certain carbon emission standards or require specific safety features. Of course, you'll need to purchase equipment that falls within an acceptable price range for your individual or company financial situation. So the next step is determining your budget. Budgeting is important whether you have a single equipment need or you're responsible for a fleet of 100 pieces of machinery, and these easy to follow steps will help you to decide what you're comfortable spending while shopping virtually or in person. You'll need to decide between new or used equipment. How do you know which to choose? The pros to buying new are that you don't need background information on the machine you choose, and you'll save on repair or maintenance costs. On the other hand, the cons of buying new are, of course, the higher cost and monthly payments, plus the depreciation of the equipment's value, meaning that it's expected that when you take a new piece of equipment off the lot, it immediately loses resale value. But if your heart is set on buying new, you can always trade in a used piece of equipment to help offset the higher price. On the other hand, buying used equipment is the more economical option thanks to lower sticker price and lower associated monthly payments when compared to a new machine. But there are cons with this option as well. You'll definitely want a background check to see the history of the equipment, which may or may not show areas of concern. Plus, repair and maintenance costs may be higher if it hasn't been well maintained. Before buying used, go online, check reviews, and look on forums for any issues with the manufacturer or the model that you're looking at. You'll obviously want to purchase heavy equipment or heavy machinery that is within a reasonable price range for your individual financial situation. To figure out your budget, it's important to consider the total cost of ownership of the equipment. Three things to consider are the down payment, recurring expenses like monthly payments, insurance, fuel, storage, and the cost of preventative maintenance and unexpected repairs. Now let's talk about your down payment. It may be possible to secure a loan without a down payment, but it's rather unlikely. So you will want to pay a percentage of the price to the dealer up front. The more that you could put down at the time of purchase can help to lower the monthly payment cost of the loan. The amount you put down can vary depending upon the equipment you're buying, dealership policies, and the financing you can obtain. And there are a lot of factors that go into monthly payments too, such as APR, the length of your loan, sales price, and more. Luckily, there are payment calculators online that can help you get an idea of your estimated monthly costs. Now, unless you pay the full cost of the equipment all at once, you're going to have monthly payments to make. These monthly payments will be on top of the bills for your equipment insurance. As you operate the machinery, you'll need to buy fuel, and depending upon the property your business has access to, you might have to pay for equipment storage as well. You also need to cover costs of preventative and ongoing maintenance and repairs. It won't be every month, hopefully. You'll need to figure out and factor preventative maintenance to keep your equipment safe and operational, as well as unexpected repairs, which always seems to happen in the most inconvenient times. So the best advice I have is to plan ahead for those expenses. I recommend establishing a maintenance savings plan that includes setting aside a certain amount of money every month that can only be pulled from and for maintenance and repairs. How much you should save will depend on how many machines you have, but this is an important factor to consider in your budget. You also want to consider your return on investment that will offset some of those costs. Ask yourself how much profit a new machine will help you generate by completing new projects or by simply getting the job done faster. Think about whether you currently have equipment you could use as a trade-in to lower the price, or if you'll be able to sell your purchased machinery once you're done with it, or want to upgrade to help you recoup some of the money later down the road. Once you've made your list and determined your budget, it's now time to take a look at equipment types. There are so many different types of heavy equipment out there. It will be important for you to research each type of machinery to determine which would be the best fit for you and your work. Keep in mind how you want to use the equipment, your level of certification and expertise, and your price range. The main segments of heavy machinery include earth moving, construction, material handling, agriculture, lifting, and trailers. Now, of course, many types of equipment can be used across those segments. For example, a backhoe can be used in both construction and agriculture, and a boom lift could be used in both construction and agriculture. So keep that in mind when you take the next step, researching. Now that you know what type of equipment you need, it's time to do your research. When it comes to research, there is so much online at your fingertips. In fact, doing your own research without needing to go in person to a dealership for answers is becoming the norm. And according to a recent survey on Equipment Trader, 53% of equipment buyers would consider purchasing without seeing the machinery in person first, based on their own online research. That's more than half of all buyers. Now, whether you choose to go that route or not is totally up to you. Many people want to see and explore the machine first in person, but just know that the option to buy sight unseen is available and easier than ever. So whether you're buying your very first piece of equipment or you're planning to upgrade to a different one to meet your needs, it's important to be thorough when you're researching. Here are a few recommendations. Start with Google like most of us do when researching any purchase, big or small. Find answers to specific questions you might have and adjust your list accordingly. What's the specific excavator's weight limit? Is a forklift the right equipment for the job? Think about your current projects and contracts. What equipment will help you complete those jobs and keep those contracts? Or what equipment could help you take on new types of jobs? Answers to these questions or types of questions can be found through thorough online searches. Once your questions are answered and you have a clear understanding of what equipment and features you need, check out manufacturer websites. Many professionals are brand loyal to certain equipment manufacturers, similar to how people are brand loyal to car manufacturers. You're going to buy from a brand you trust and that others trust too. So start with your favorite manufacturers to see what they have to offer. But don't stop there. Make sure you're not limiting yourself to just one brand. Compare different brands so you know all of your options. I also recommend checking out equipment ratings and reviews, both positive and negative, to help you make an informed decision. You can learn a lot from stories and experience of other industry professionals. I also recommend reading industry publications and websites like Equipment World, Construction Dive, or Construction Equipment. You can find out the latest news and information about what's going on in the industry. Check out your competitors' websites. What equipment are they using? What could help you continue to compete with them? Search for pictures, videos, equipment demos, and any visuals online that can give you a clearer view of what the equipment will do in person. Also, make sure you're doing your research on state emission regulations and fuel efficiency standards. Check worker certification information so you know your crew is certified to operate the equipment you're looking to buy. And of course, I recommend visiting classified sites like Equipment Trader to explore real life listings to see what's on the market right now. Check out prices of specific equipment and help you narrow down your search even further. With over 100,000 listings on Equipment Trader, you can explore and filter by any criteria you want. Read through equipment descriptions and look at pictures and videos so you can get a feel for each type. You can use the search bar to find specific terms you're looking for, or go straight to the categories to filter by type, make, condition, size, movement type, hours, and more. You can filter by local listings in your area, or you can even consider equipment that is further away since shipping options may be available too. As you find equipment you're interested in, save them as your favorites in your My Trader profile. From there, you can start to narrow down your search to the exact machinery you need. Now, when you're evaluating each equipment detail page, you want to look for five main components: photos, videos, details, description, and dealers. Let's start with photos. Images are the most basic way to get a good look at the heavy equipment you might buy. Great dealers will post plenty of pictures, including every angle of the exterior, plus pictures of each area of the interior. Videos. Even more than photos, videos give you the best idea of what the machinery will look like in real life. Videos can show you the equipment in action, thanks to demonstrations of its main functions and attachments. Details. Listings should include key details about the heavy machinery, including the year, condition, body attachments, and more. If a listing doesn't have these details, it might be a red flag, or at least a reason to vet the seller. Descriptions. Here, dealers will always describe features, or at least they should, that you can find inside and outside of the equipment. And they may share general history of the machine's past professional use. And lastly, dealers. You also want to make sure to research the dealers themselves. You'll be most confident in a purchase when you know you're buying a quality equipment from a trustworthy dealer. And that peace of mind is often the deciding factor when choosing between different equipment buying options. Okay, so you've created your list, you figured out your budget, you've done your research, and you've even chosen the type of machinery that's right for your needs. You've gone to Equipment Trader and you've narrowed down your search, and now it's time to connect with the seller. Now, connecting with a seller doesn't mean you have to immediately visit a physical dealership. In today's virtual world, there are many ways you can connect with a seller without actually going into their business. Obviously, dealers can always be reached via phone call or email, but now many dealers will also offer texting, live chat messaging, and live video chats. Use any of these channels to request more photos, seek out additional details, ask questions, talk financing, make an offer, negotiate price, or communicate about anything else you think is important. On Equipment Trader, you can click on a button from each listing that allows you to request more videos and pictures if there's something more that you want to see. According to our recent Equipment Trader survey, photos and videos were the most important tools when considering a purchase sight unseen, followed by clear communication with the dealer as a close second. Don't be afraid to be specific in what you want to see more of. If you're curious about the equipment's capabilities, ask the dealer for a video of it in action. You want to feel like you're seeing the equipment for yourself, so be sure to see everything that you want. Dealers and sellers are eager to help you find the right equipment. And through live video chats or virtual meetings, or through apps like Zoom or FaceTime, they can even give you a complete tour of the machine you're interested in without you stepping foot on their lot. Many dealers on Equipment Trader let you conduct a virtual tour via live video chat, allowing you to view the interior and exterior, hear the engine running, review parts or damage, ask questions, and hear the sales pitch. Again, you want to make this feel like you're on the lot, walking through the machine with the dealer. Ask all the questions you have, even if there are a lot, and take notes. You want to feel totally comfortable and confident in the equipment you're looking at, all from the comfort and safety of your own home. Even though inspections are typically done in person, you can even have your pre-purchase inspection virtually too. Regardless if you choose to conduct the inspection in person or virtually, inspections are essential to learn as much as you can about the equipment before signing the dotted line. Inspections also ensure you're keeping yourself as the operator and other people around the equipment or on your job site safe. Before signing on that dotted line, here's what you need to look for when inspecting equipment. When it comes to engine, transmission, and hydraulic parts, be sure to rev the engine. Check for smoke, sounds, and warning lights, and review pressure readings. On the body of the machine, look for wear and tear, cracks, rust, evidence of welding. In the interior of the cab, be sure to check steering mechanisms, pedals, seat adjustments, dashboard functions, seat comfort, visibility through the protective glass. Verify appropriate levels of cleanliness of fluids and exhaust. This could include engine oil, transmission fluid, coolant, and hydraulic fluid. Observe exhaust after cold start for black smoke, which means that there's too much fuel in the air-fuel mix, blue smoke, meaning the engine is burning oil, or white smoke, meaning the fuel is burning incorrectly. When looking at tires, tracks, drivetrains, and brakes, look for cracks or bubbles in the tires, uneven wear and tear. This could indicate a drivetrain issue, noisy brakes, or missing or broken tracks or bolts. When looking at equipment tier and technology level, ask yourself, is this equipment more advanced than I'm comfortable with? Do I know how to use the equipment properly? And am I certified to operate this machine? Once you've had your inspection and everything looks good to go, you've decided to buy the equipment and now you're ready to make an offer. Classified websites are evolving with buyers in this new digital environment. On Equipment Trader, we also have a feature called Make an Offer. The Make an Offer button is located on the equipment detail page that takes you directly to that step of the process. You simply put in an offer amount that you think is fair and let the dealer come back to you with either an acceptance notice or a counteroffer. The dealer may also be willing to sweeten the deal by offering you other promotions, waiving delivery fees, offering upgrades at no additional cost, or other beneficial deals. The Make an Offer feature allows you to have control in the beginning of the negotiation process and helps get you one step closer to owning that machinery. So you've reached out to the seller, all of your questions have been answered, and now you're ready to buy. The purchasing process can be simple, especially in today's virtual world. Many dealerships offer virtual buying options depending on state laws and dealership policies. Check to see if virtual options are available for a final inspection of the commercial vehicle via live video streaming, signing documents to finalize the sale, obtaining financing, whether it's from the dealership or a third party, or even obtaining warranties, same thing, from a dealership or even a third party. You can also check to see if you have to go to the dealership yourself or if the equipment can be delivered right to your job site. From the moment you start communicating with the dealer or seller, make sure you're paying attention to their customer service. They should be eager to exceed your expectations during the buying process. You'll start to form a relationship with them, and the service you receive can be a major deciding factor. You'll likely continue working with them if any issues arise after your initial purchase or if you need routine maintenance care. So you want to make sure you're confident in who you're working with. Knowing how equipment has been used and treated in the past can help you predict the machine's functionality, possible need for repair, and how many more working years the equipment really has left. Try to figure it out via ownership records, telematics, and simply asking the dealer how hard the machine has been worked and in what environments. Get a general sense of machine use. What has the equipment been used for? Where has the equipment been operated? What are the total equipment hours of use? Review maintenance and repair records, ranging from how often fluids were changed to major problems with the machine. Access equipment telematics. Telematics can give you exact measurements and records of machine use and performance, which offer a clear picture of what kind of equipment you're getting from its first use to the present moment. You may also want to ask about and consider any warranties available. Many dealerships offer warranties when purchasing equipment, but there are also independent companies that offer warranty options as well. A warranty is one way to provide yourself peace of mind for the future and could potentially save you money down the road. And the last step in the buying process, once your offer is accepted, is to sign the dotted line. And again, whether you set up an appointment at the dealership or with the seller, or have the equipment delivered to you, is totally up to you. Find out your options because anything is possible now that dealers and sellers are adapting more and more to our virtual world. And that's it. Signed, sealed, delivered. That piece of equipment is yours. The last section I want to cover is how to avoid fraud and scams. According to our survey, the fear of being scammed is a top reason why people have reservations about completing a heavy machinery purchase online. It's always slightly unnerving to make a significant purchase online, and equipment is definitely no exception. But follow these guidelines and you'll be just fine. There are three main things to remember. Number one, confirm that the equipment, seller, and deal are real. Number two, use caution when browsing sites. And number three, only use secure payment methods and credit card protection programs. Now, I'll take a deep dive into each. How do you make sure the equipment, the seller, and the deal itself is real? First, verify that any pictures of inventory are of the actual for sale equipment and are not stock images from online. To make sure you're buying the specific equipment shown in the pictures, ask the seller for a photo of the equipment that includes the seller holding a piece of paper with their name and the date, or any other identifying detail you can ask for. It may be a slight inconvenience to them, but you should be suspicious if they refuse to provide the photo. A seller should always clearly provide the name of their company, as well as their physical address, telephone number, and email address. If they don't provide that information, that's an immediate warning sign. If they do provide the information, you need to check that it's accurate by doing a quick search online. Plug the physical address into Google Maps to make sure the location is where a legitimate business might operate. Do a search online for the phone number provided to see if it returns the company or if people report getting spam calls from the number. And ensure that any email or telephone number you are given is an exact match of the contact information on the contact page of the seller's website. Now, for example, anyone contacting you from Equipment Trader directly will have an at equipmenttrader.com or at traderinteractive.com email address, never a Gmail, Yahoo, or any other personal email provider domain. Check online reviews too. Leaving and reading company and product reviews has become a huge aspect of online shopping. People who have been scammed by a company are very likely to have left an online review about their experience. Search for the company's name along with the keyword reviews or scam and see what other people have said. Sometimes companies really do offer amazing deals, but most of the time when something sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Scammers will often say, "You've won a prize," but claim you have to provide sensitive information and or send them money for the taxes, fees, or shipping costs. Typically, prizes don't come with any charges to the winner. That's already a big red flag. But also ask yourself if the prize is reasonable or if it seems over the top. Finally, ask yourself if any deal or giveaway fits the pattern of typical behavior for the company and if they've offered similar deals or prizes in the past. If you've never signed up for a contest or heard of the company making comparable deals to the one they're offering you, that's another huge warning sign. When browsing websites like the seller's website, first make sure it looks professional and legitimate. Most fake websites will look somewhat strange, with spelling and grammar mistakes, low quality product images, and other oddities. This can help them naturally filter out cautious shoppers. They know that if you don't catch simple mistakes on a website, then you're not likely to catch their scam either. Look for other claims on the website that could be verified, like seals of approval or endorsement badges from a company like the Better Business Bureau. Sometimes a scam goes beyond tricking you into sending money, but instead involves directly stealing your identity or hacking your computer and online accounts. So never click on unknown links in emails or on websites. Hover your mouse over links to preview where it might take you, and only click links when you know and trust the site it leads to. When you pay for something online, you should follow 3 security guidelines. First, always pay on a page that is secured. Secured websites will have HTTPS before the site name. Second, pay by credit card, as you may be able to recover your money from the credit card company if fraud occurs. Many credit card companies will offer a unique credit card number that you can use for specific websites. These card protection services ensure that if somebody gets a hold of your credit card information from a transaction on those select websites, they can't use it on any other sites, saving you from being scammed out of significant money. Third, avoid direct money transfers, as it can nearly be impossible to get your money back if you are scammed or have issues with the product. Don't forget to regularly check your bank statements. Check your accounts regularly instead of waiting for the physical bill to arrive. This helps you control any fraudulent charges and take immediate action by calling your bank or card issuer. And if you ensure that you're following these tips and tricks to avoid fraud and scam, you're setting yourself up for a seamless digital online researching and buying experience for your next piece of equipment. To wrap up, because I know I've shared a lot of information with you today, Equipment Trader has created a cheat sheet that you can download and save on your computer so that you don't forget the main tips from this on-demand webinar. The guide, along with a number of other virtual buying educational resources, can be found by visiting the URL shown on the screen, equipmenttrader.com equipmentrader.com/blog/virtual buying. Again, here's a quick recap of the 7 tips I've covered. Number 1, build your list. Number 2, determine your budget. Number 3, choose your type. Number 4, do your research. Number 5, connect with the seller. Number 6, review virtual buying options. And lastly, number 7, avoid fraud and scams. I know that the thought of using virtual resources when researching and buying equipment can sound intimidating to some, but we at Equipment Trader are here and happy to help you. Check out equipment in your area and beyond by visiting equipmenttrader.com. Download the guide and other free resources around virtual buying at equipmenttrader.com/blog/virtual buying. And if you have any specific questions, we'll also be holding a live Q&A on Facebook soon, so be sure to follow the Equipment Trader Facebook page and keep an eye out for that event. Thank you for watching this webinar. It's easier than ever to find and purchase the right equipment for you and your work, thanks to the virtual world we all live in now. If you're ready to start your search, visit equipmenttrader.com today.